Majma! Hi everyone. How is everyone today? We're going to be working on coloring Fred and Frank today. So we've already got the models that we made last stream. Well, last art stream we did. And now we're going to be making them actually look like Fred and Frank as opposed to... I don't know any white lobsters. I know a green one. But no white lobsters. Does anyone else know any white lobsters? I don't know, maybe it's the snowman version of Fred and Frank currently. That would be seasonal, wouldn't it? Yes, hi Lemonade. Hi White Hatter, how are you both? Let's see. So first thing we're probably gonna... True, it could be albino lobster. I'd need red eyes for that, though. Oh, though, since we need to make a, like, segment thing, like a mask for doing the eyes as opposed to like the body, we could make the eyes red temporarily. Because if we go and do oh right, I forgot that I messed up my thing and now need to fix it because I don't know where my list of layers is. That's gonna make this a bit more challenging, isn't it? Well, I hope you get some rest now that work is done. Let's see if I can find... What if we just load painting mode? Hang on, let me do... We'll just put this in... Is that there? Is that gonna... No? Hi Handle! Hi Nordic! How are you both? I'm currently trying to... Oh wait, that was save painting mode. That doesn't help if we're trying to load one that was not saved. Oh, so many snowmen. Let's see. It says layers is somewhere. Oh, wait, was that it? Is that layers? Hey, we found the layers. Okay, now we can put this where it should be, because it should be over here, or at least that's where I'm used to it. Ah, nope. Cooperate. That should go on this thingy. And then we scoot that one over. There we go. Now we've got our layers. now I can actually make the mask for the eyes. So we're gonna make a quick group. Call this one eyes. And then so that we can see where this is, we will make a fill and make the fill be red. Ooh, head pats. I am not a car. I am a cat. I know you can't see my ears right now because they're hidden under my hat, but I still have ears under here, you know. Object permanence should not be going burr at the moment. I'm all bundled up, no burr here. Alright, so let's add... there we go. Add a new mask to this, black mask. And then we need this thingy and this thingy to be red currently. So we'll swap to our 2D mode, and it looks like this and this are what we need to color in. Oop, I forgot that I don't have UV mode on. I need to turn back on the UV mode. Alignment UV. And then size texture would probably also be helpful here. Yeah, now we can have greater control because that should remain consistent. And then if we zoom in on this, there we go. Oh, though that needs to be harder. Yeah, increase hardness. And then change size down even further. There we go. Now we have greater control over where we're coloring this. Hi, American Duck. How are you? So we've got eye there, and then... the other eye is somewhere over here, wasn't it? Down. There it is. That's the eye. Glad to hear you're doing amazing. Cover that up. Alright, and now if we switch back to 3D mode, hey, now we have an albino lobster. Though we need to be making Fred and Frank. So do we want to start with the eyes or do we want to start with the body color? Probably the eyes now that we've done them red, 'cause having red eyes on either of them will be weird. And hi, Wild Wolf, how are you? So if we do smart materials, I should be able to drag on... I like being very expressive. Though I was thinking about redoing some of the expressive things that I already have and making them a little bit more exaggerated than they already are. But that's because the tracking that I use for face tracking in VRChat had an update. And so it is kind of messed with what my current setup is. So I figure it might be a good chance to rework some things and see what I can do. I'm not 100% sure though. There we go. That's what I want. Glass film. Stick that on. Oh, I got ducked. I need to stick this inside the eyes so that it doesn't apply to everything. Come on. What is my hand tracking doing right now? That's one of the weird ones about having this working through a second screen. Yes, there are ducks you can throw. Yeah, it does definitely do a lot more tracking than a lot of people's. But there's always room for improvement on things. 2, 3, 4. Why did that? Oh, you misspelled my name. I was wondering why it didn't do the chance for actually booping me. If you spell my name right, there's a chance that it might show up on stream with the boop. Let's see then. We need to turn off the opacity on this glass. Ooh, that was cheese. But yeah, like that. I think that might be a little bit too shiny for the eyes. That got stuck to my face! Let's hide the glass one for now. Let's try some of the other ones, like this latex black might work better. Ooh yeah, that's already looking better, and I haven't even dragged it in yet. So that looks quite like Fred and Frank's kind of beady black eyes. Oh, I have realized that I didn't put on the Fred and Frank today. Hang on. There we go. Now we have our references at the top. along with the Christmas lights that are up there. I might actually scoot them over a little bit so that they're kind of like in between the Christmas lights. There we go. That feels slightly better. So we now got that. I realized a step that I forgot to do. I need to do big mesh maps and then big selected textures. And luckily I'm not worried at all about this lagging now that it's on a separate computer. Heck, that finished way faster than it usually did. Though it's also a smaller model than like one of the ones that has multiple materials and frickin' lots of geometry. This is much smaller, much cleaner. But now we have little bits of ambient occlusion and stuff going on. What would be a near, like a good approximate for their shells? Maybe this plastic thick cracked? That seems like it might be pretty close. So if we slap that on and then move that down. We're already very close to Fred, I feel like. That is certainly getting there. We might want to stylize it a bit more than that, but we're getting somewhere. I think we also need to do... we'll do a folder, call this one body. And then copy the mask from this one. There we go, copy mask. Paste mask onto the body. Paste into mask. And then add a invert to that mask. How do I do that again? I know there's a way to. Oh, invert mask right there. And now I can put that into body. And now the eyes are no longer affected by the body materials. Eee. Oh, more head pat and boop attempts. And yeah, duck. That does make sense that you would want to summon a whole bunch of ducks. Though, I realized between the ducks and the lobsters and chat trying to bring in a frickin' penguin last time, we're very quickly on the path to a zoo. Luckily, I returned the penguin. And until someone tries to steal it from the zoo again. Let's see. So next we need a filter. And we need stylization. Slap that right there. Alright, now we've got a more painterly lobster. But that doesn't look like quite the style. Ah, yes, I forgot that you'd calculated that, Lemonade. Oh, music sounds a little bit loud. Let me turn that down a smidge. Probably about there. I don't know about throwing a lobster, but I am making Fred and Frank to go on my shoulder, so there will be plenty of lobsters about. Plus, if you already use the lobster emotes, they do get thrown around on stream. Or like they'll like pop up and fly around. So sort of already exists, just not the same way as like the duck or the snowball. The one I really need to set up properly is the cat pod. Because I do have it set to where you can throw that at me. But I don't have it actually triggerable by you guys yet. Though I do also kind of want to make a cat pod 3D model. I don't know. I'll figure it out. One upgrade at a time, and right now it's lobsters. So preset white base. Ooh, that's a weird one. Painterly. That's definitely a painterly lobster. What other presets have we got? Hand painted, which is different from painterly. It legitimately is. It kind of does look more like a lobster, though. Is this what we want? It feels a little bit too painterly. So I think we'll keep trying some of the stylization ones and see what we settle with. So we tried hand painted. Let's try contrasted. That's just kind of giving it a weird grayish tinge on top. We will be making a blue lobster too, because the blue lobster is Frank.
Bits.
Yes, Tanny, those are bits. Let's try washed out. And that just made it yellow. Colorized. Oh, well, there's blue. That just kind of looks like the wrong blue, though. It doesn't look half bad, though. Hang on, can we change the colors of this? Colorize. Yeah, that is pretty cyan. So color, bring that back to red. Kind of like deep red base. And then do grunge. Grunge is like brighter red. Oh, but it's doing that in the baked lighting too. Hang on, is that part of a gradient? Oh, it is part of the gradient. Ooh. Tanner, you didn't even say anything in that one. And yeah, the little guys dance when they, like when someone follows or someone throws bits, all that kind of stuff. Alright, oh, I got booped.
Moom.
Moom? What? I'm not Moom. I will try that one, and then multiply by that kind of deeper red. Yes, you did boot me.
Did he get his birdseed, Moom?
We dropped him off at the zoo, remember? Ooh, that's quite close. Maybe we'll stick that. Wait, what is it if we...
Well, I got him back. He needs his birdseed.
Dang it, I knew someone was gonna steal him back from the zoo. Alright, so that's that. We want that to be less saturated. Maybe a bit more reddish toned. Kind of like that. Oop. What was it? Alfred was what you named the frickin' penguin? It's not my penguin. It's Tanny's. Technically. I get... Well, no, it's not even Tanny's. Tanny stole it.
Yes.
It is just a stolen penguin at this point.
Alfred needs his birdseed.
Yeah. But yeah, the zoo is the best place for Alfred. We shouldn't be keeping Alfred. They don't even eat birdseed. Penguins eat fish. Do not feed a penguin birdseed. I feel like the stylization is going to be a bit much to put on me, despite it looking really good.
Moom,
It's going to be
Alfred
weird on my
needs his
shoulder.
birdseed. Also, Alfred likes his birdseed, Mum. He's starving.
Alfred eats fish, not birdseed. And because birds eat more than seeds. There are many birds that eat fish. There are many birds that eat like insects and stuff. Not all eat birdseed. Yeah, fish.
Alfred is not pescatarian. I am.
I'm pretty sure Alfred is pescatarian. Actually, no. Pescatarian means that you also eat vegetables. Alfred does not eat vegetables. Alfred is just carnivore. There are no plants in the frickin' Antarctica.
Moom, he needs his fish.
Okay, now we're on the same page. We can get Alfred some fish. But he can't eat the lobsters.
But he also needs birdseed.
He doesn't need birdseed. Fair enough, a turtle. I was kind of hoping that we could just let Alfred live in the zoo where they could take care of him.
Statistically incorrect.
No, it's not statistically incorrect. Zoos are generally fairly good about keeping penguins. How do I want to tweak this, though, to make it fit better on my shoulder? Because it needs to be...
He needs his board seat.
Penguin do not need birdseed. What if we just turn down the stylization? If we make it less, will that help? Hey! That looks more like something that could go on my shoulder, I think. It's got a bit of it, but not overly. Is there anything else I want to do to tweak that? Maybe we up it a little bit more and then tweak the actual light settings. Yeah, like we could turn down the specular radius. Maybe... Maybe change the horizon angle? And the vertical angle. Is that even doing anything? It'd be fun to have her redeem for a blue lobster sound effect. I don't actually know the blue lobster sound.
Birdseed, 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 birdseed.
No. If we're going to keep an animal, we're going to keep an animal correctly. We do have a memes channel in the Discord, which sounds like it's probably the correct place for it. What if we reduce the specular intensity? Okay, so that just reduces that. So go there, diffuse contrast, what does that do? I cannot tell. Brush strokes and lighting. Maybe reduce that. And then diffuse intensity. Edges and cavities. Can't even tell what that does. Edges? Maybe both? Oh, do we have to up the contrast? Doesn't seem to change anything, so I'm just gonna leave it as is. Go ahead and hydrate. There we go.
Birdseed, boardseed, breadseed, beardseed.
A penguin is not a duck. They don't eat bread either. Alright, reduce specular contrast. That's closer, I think.
Birdseed sandwich.
That's combining the two no's. That does not make it edible for them. Yes, give the bread to American duck. They can eat it. Oh, hang on. That actually did something this time. What? How does this function? It's like if it's at that one, it went away.
Fine, duck can have the bread, but the birdseed is Alfred's.
Alfred doesn't need the birdseed. Alfred is a penguin. Okay, I see.
Birdseed.
It's... No. Okay, so that's where it was at with, like, nothing. Because it's all on this side now. Fred is going to be that side. And... Wait, are they mirrored? I know I mirrored them, so they should have... They should have mirrored textures, I think. And yes, Tanny, you have activated disapproving mother mode because you are trying to feed an animal something that it can't eat. How do you bring the edge of a face to the same plane as the other face? What do you mean?
Boy order it seed.
Are you meaning, like, get it in line horizontally or rotate an edge to match another face? So you just move it carefully? I'm confused. Because I don't quite know what your setup is that you're having trouble with. I think... So you can have vertex snap join thing. There's a setting for it that I don't entirely remember where, like, if a vertex is placed close enough to another vertex, it will automatically join. So Google that. I don't remember what it is. You can also select the two vertices that you want to join and then just merge it center and move it back into place. That would also join them. I feel like turn down the brush strokes and lighting. No, maybe I just need to turn down brush strokes entirely. Hang on, where's our brush stroke section? Brush strokes, that one. Because we want some. Have you added more edges? Because you can't really turn a cube into a sphere. That doesn't quite work. You could also try the inflate in the sculpt mode, or smooth the vertices in the vertex options. Didn't I remove this one from the playlist? Remove that one from play queue. Okay, good. The others are all still in their playlists. Yeah, don't stick links in that section of the Discord. I probably actually need to update that. You know what, let me do that right now. Let me change the permissions on that channel. Because you should not be allowed to put links in this channel. Odd. They don't have a way to ban links entirely. You know what? It's just supposed to be a log. We will just remove that. Let me delete that message then. Because I don't know what it is and I don't want others to click on it. Possibly a bot. It's a question of where the frick to find that one. But I'm just gonna have it to where people don't have permission to send links or send anything in that channel through Discord. You gotta do it through Twitch or YouTube. No, you were good. That is a failing in my own setup. So thank you for pointing that out. And then let's try changing the brushstroke type, see if any of these fit better. That's fair. It still shows that anyone could put any link there, which is why I'm being more careful with it. None of these quite feel right. I think we'll go stripes, I guess. Turn down the brush scale, see how that looks. No, that doesn't look good. Up brush scale. There we go, that's a little bit closer. What if we randomize the brushstroke size a bit more? Sort of. What are the brushstroke effects? Color custom. Let's leave that false. What if we increase color variation? Oh yeah. You kind of need the extra edges for smoothing. Up normal smoothness. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. That's what it was missing, I think. I feel like I need to change that baked lighting now. I feel like it needs intensity increase or reduce the diffuse radius. Shoot, which way was it? Because I know it wasn't this soft before. I think it's specular contrast. But the face has it so soft while the other thing is so sharp. I think what we're gonna do instead is we are going to set the specular contrast super low. And then set radius like there. That kind of matches the small random shines that we had before. So Restream Bot is a mod. Mods tend to have the frickin' workaround for those things. I'd have to look into it more, but I also just already don't allow links on YouTube. Ooh, head pat. But yeah, so since I don't allow links on YouTube and I don't allow them on Twitch, there's not really much need to stop RestreamBot and such. So it's one of those things of like, I probably should look into it more of like, what do I actually want things to be set as? But for now, I'm fine relying on the moderation that I have on both YouTube and Twitch separately, and then just locking down the Discord side a little bit more. What else do we need for this one? Ooh, I wanna increase how shiny he is, I think. So you're gonna set the, I've forgotten the button. I don't have it up at the moment. But at the top you've got global, local, and then you can set it to be off of normals. And that's what you want it on. And then you should be able to select the face and extrude across the Y-axis on normals, and it should lift it away. Oh, hang on. I'm now curious. What does it look like if I slap the water thing? That worked surprisingly well! Do we want Fred and Frank to look like they were literally just pulled out of their tank? Because that is surprisingly spot on. Alright, I think... Something feels a little bit weird about that one. Maybe... Position, influence X. What does that do? Oop, wrong button. Not with this. That would need several other things to work. And even then, it would be harder to do than my Dizzy toggle. And my Dizzy toggle already required multiple additional layers on the material and a whole node graph to run it. So I don't want to do that. That's too much work for this little bit. Okay, so spread is like the water on top. Let's turn up the ambient occlusion based intensity, I guess. And then world space. Let's up the... This would probably be right intensity? Yeah. Oh no, that's not even right intensity. What is that? Is that left then? No, left is back. So we're apparently starting at the back currently? Yeah, there we go. So we'll up the back a little bit. And then copy that and put that on the other ones and leave bottom clear, I guess. think that might work. It's not a shrimp, it's a lobster. But hi, Bento, how you? Welcome back, Duck. Although it feels weird to have it on the eyes. Do we need to move that into just the body? Yeah, I feel like that's better. Wait. Oh, your PC? I'm confused. What happened? Why'd you feel a lot of lag? I think let's see how that looks. So if we do, first make sure that we've saved this. That would be under props, under Lobsters, dependencies, create a new folder for materials. And then a folder for textures. And this one will be called Fred. And then we can export the textures themselves. Old Office PC. Yeah, that would do it. Not even new Office PCs are safe. I've been working at my job for like a year, and my work computer blue screened yesterday. And it has not been able to not blue screen. And I'm doing alright, Boulder. So this needs to change to the same folder. Change that to dilation transparent with padding of 8 should be fine. Export. Okay. So we now have that exported, and then if I go, well, I'm gonna need to quickly set something up before I can change it. That is impressive. Disconnecting the charger like 3 times? I've not tried that. Why? I've tried powering it off, like, to the point that the fans go crazy. And it still just didn't do a thing. Like, it blue screens on startup, not even on login. And my work has already... Well, my work should have overnighted me another one for tomorrow. I tried the mash the button technique. It didn't work. I have no idea what this work laptop has. It's a work laptop. I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to know, because I'm not the, like, IT. Well, I am IT, but not that IT. I am data management. I am not hardware. Back to what I was trying to set up. Okay, well, I'm not the one that did the thermal paste, so that's not my job. And I have tried getting, like, I've let my manager know, I've let, like, my entire department know, hey, I am dead in the water, I can't do a thing, basically. So that they all know. And there's ticketing with the IT and stuff. So I've got help. Help is just slow. because, as I said, this problem started on Monday. At the very start of day on Monday. So I've been working by joining meetings on my phone, and that's about it. That's all I can manage. So we'll turn on that one. And then... Why do I taste like glue sticks? Rude. Alright, hydrating. Now back to pulling up the lobsters in Unity so that I can swap it over. Need to collapse that bit, I'm looking for props. There it is. Lobsters. And then we'll drop in Fred. Alright. It's a glue stick. And yeah, I probably would taste like a Tide Pod. That or orange and blue raspberry. So if I go here and then change that, there we go. Now we can see Unity. And I need to change the music because that is way too sleepy. Right. So now if I create a new material, and we will call this one Fred. And wait, did I even export it as the right thing? I did not. I exported it as the wrong item, so let me quickly import the correct export settings and then export the thing again, which is a very weird statement, but is accurate. It's under this one, under there, and then these two files need to be imported so that I can then export in the correct format. Export textures. That should be correct. Alright. So now... Why the duck? So now if I change this... Why the second duck? Change that to Poyomi. And then if we open up the textures folder, now we should have these lovely textures. This should be that texture, I believe. And then we have the normal map here. Fix the normal map. And then I think it's under shading. Oh, this should be shading realistic is going to be needed. Oh, maybe I should have cloned the materials that I had used for others. Oh well, we'll finish with this one first, and then we'll worry about that. So turn on the reflections and slap that on. Fix that one. And now if we go back to materials, now that we have our Fred material, and just drop it on Fred. There we go. Let's see how this looks. Wait, what? Oh, because science is about why, it's about why not. Alright. But did you write down your findings? Because if you didn't write down your findings, it's not science. Alright, so how does that look for having Fred? It definitely has the correct shine and stuff. Am I wrong? It doesn't matter if I learned that from Adam Savage or not. And Switch cartridges are not breakfast cereal. Do not eat those. They are made to be bitter for a reason. Alright, ooh, I just remembered one of the other ideas that we had was making Fred and Frank fluffy so that they're like plushies. But I think I kind of like the shiny one. Expensive does not mean delicious, and if they're delicious, you have a problem. You should go see a doctor. I'm pretty sure they're designed to taste like poison. What if Frank is fluffy? Well, I'd either want both of them to be fluffy or only one of them to be fluffy. Well, no, not one of them. Neither of them or both. Not one. Is what I was trying to say. And it'd be the same kind of fluff as like the pom-pom on my hat. Or like the edges on my scarf. Because fluff. Glass? Don't eat glass either. Is that what you're trying to say? Though I can probably, frickin' do the... Oh, glass lobster. Well, then it's not Fred and Frank. We're trying to make Fred and Frank here. Think... And I'm debating if I want to try and do some of the other, like, putting the physics on and stuff. Because we currently just have Lobster that is placed there, but I don't have that actually functioning as anything. Actually, wait, hang on. If I do... Let's lock in shader for a second. Let it compile. And then, once that's done, what do we actually need to do to export this as an object? Export prop? Okay, so maybe that'll work. And then if we go modeling, completed models, put this in my VTuber folder, and we could put this under props. And then we'll create a new folder, call this Lobsters, because I feel like we're gonna get more lobsters than these two at this rate. So if we export that, you have a genuine question that is dumb but interesting. How do we know what poison tastes like if people try to die? Because poison is only lethal at a certain dose. So people can try a little poison and survive. What about Alfred? Well, Alfred's not a lobster. Alfred is a penguin. Also, hi, Calder. Well, bye, Calder. Alright. The prop is exported. We're gonna try this live.
Alfred is biting my knees.
Eternal, I think that means that Alfred wants fish. Try giving him fish. Actually, no, don't give him fish. That's a reward. Throw fish and, like, have him go catch it. Props. And then if we add prop and be frozen for a second. Prop.
I'm gonna feed him cake.
Okay, so we've got a Fred here. Fred is not positioned very well, but we can... upper chest is probably fine, and then just move Y position down. Yep. Come on. 9.5, maybe? 9.7? Negative 1.1 maybe. Okay, 1.16 is too much. 1.1? 1.05? Closer, closer. 1.01? That's probably good. There should be a, like, thingy in my about section that lets you change it on Twitch side. And then also let me try shapeshift. Come on. There we go. Lobster. There we go. So now we've got a Fred here, who is kind of hiding in my hair, but I think that's fine. Aside from the lack of physics, I think that might work. Though it's a bit dark, isn't it? We'll leave Fred on for now, and try and fiddle with stuff. Oh, yeah. You were correct, Lemonade. Oh, let's try the method of duplicating one of the materials that I use for the other ones, and then putting it on there. So if we yoink, well, not common. We'll go like that. No, it is this one. Do we want to yoink the one created for my face with this, or the one for my hair? Let's actually yoink my hair one. So if we expand hair, materials. Yeah, that's the correct one. Duplicate that. Copy that. And then we put that in with the lobsters. And now we just need to swap the textures on it. Oh, and also rename it. Good question, Eternal. I don't entirely know at the moment. I'm trying not to take on more projects that aren't ones that I've decided I specifically want. We can look at adding Alfred to my freaking list of projects and having people vote on it type thing, but I don't know about a penguin. It's still where I'm kind of at. You can just use Blender's texture thing and make something that's halfway decent for now. But I am more or less at the parent doesn't want the pet stage. Fix that normal map. And then fix that one. Why am I getting licked? Rename that one to Fred 2 for now. Then we'll rename this one to Fred Old. Rename that one to just Fred Proper. And then this one should also be set to not trans-clipping, just opaque. There we go. You're gonna try making Kita cow. How am I in Blender and in the stream? 'Cause I made my own model. So I'm tweaking things. Oh, something feels weird about that. Oh, right, 'cause this had some tweaking to the reflectiveness on it. Because we turned down the smoothness, so we want smoothness back up. Maybe we even want metallic down? No, we want metallic up still. So I think that should work. And then how do you sub at different tiers? Hang on, let me pull up things that I can properly instruct you. That and that. So on. Hang on, let me go to someone else's channel, make sure I'm seeing this right. So there, I believe, like, above the subscribe button, there is a elevate your subscription. And that has tier 2 and tier 3 options. Rat, I have a very easy way of doing that. I can just... There, I am now slightly taller. I don't know if anyone's gonna notice, but I think they will because we've said it. Whether I remember after I frickin' look elsewhere is a different question. So then now I want to add actual physics to this. I think the way that I want to do that is just turn head. Actually, no, I want... What is it for the VRMs? Because I want this secondary thing, so I need to do that. Then... Oh, fair enough, Eternal. I've realized the other thing I want to do is reset the lobsters so that they're not just like raised up, because that's just another way I could fix it. It does not update live. I have to push exports from the various things. I just zoomed in slightly. That's all I did for that one. But let me... Evelyn base, model, pull up that one. I should be able to re-export the lobsters to where they're not floating so high up, which is probably preferable for this. Probably want a little bit up, though. Though I do want them on my shoulders, which I need to figure out how to do. Because right now they're not. Right now they're just on my upper chest. Well, Fred is. I've gotten licked again. Why am I getting licked so much today? Oh, I got booped. Oh, right. Lobsters were in different Blender project entirely, not this one. Glad I didn't show that one yet. Because it was in models, lobsters. This one. There we go. So now I can change my window capture. and swap to Blender. Man, we are we are jumping so many things this time. So Fred, we essentially want to go and do object set origin to geometry, and then transform to Z0, and I think we want to leave the others as they are, because that should do the offset we're looking for. Not quite secret project. It's more the like crazy big project that is my master project. So it has all of the different variations and things that I've got going on and hopping around between. Do I want to leave that one there, or do I want that to be centered? Happy for you, Duck. I think we'll leave that one there. Object set origin to geometry, and then drop Z to 0. And then now if I select these, I can export FBX. Make sure, I don't have, so we need selected visible, armature and mesh, apply units, apply transform, scalings, FBX all. And then don't bake animation. I think that's it. Hang on, is it apply transform? Okay, no apply transform, I think. And then we'll add this one as VRM. There we go. So that should... Oh wait, we don't want to apply... No wait, we do want to apply modifiers. That is correct. Alright, so we'll export that FBX. And then... save that one. We switch back to Unity side. And then... that is now there. If we now do the prop export, and prop, place that. I don't think that's going to... I also just realized that I didn't lock the material, so that's probably going to give me an error. Yep, unlock shader was found. So if this update's live, we're going to have a very pink Fred. You can try making Alfred look like a plushie. That's entirely up to you guys. I've just kind of assumed this is an actual penguin, but if it's a plushie penguin, that's also fine. I mean, the question is how upset is Tanny gonna be, one way or the other? So Fred material, lock in shader, and then we'll redo that export. Yep, place that one. Yes, we do need Tanny's opinion. I don't know if Tanny's dozed off, though. Alfred should be a cursed dollar plushie. But they're a penguin that Tanny wants to feed feed birdseed. I don't even know what I was saying there with birdseed. Doesn't make sense. I don't think I have a file reload from this. But that is now exported. So we'll hide this one. Ah! Forget that! You really spooked me with that one! There we go, hydrated. Now we open Fred. Okay. So that is stuck to my head, which is about what I expect. So I can't... How did I get the other ones on my shoulder? Oh, right, they were on Avatar Game Object shoulder. Okay. So that's how I did that one. Oop. Well, alright, I guess I'm over here for now. So Fred should be on Avatar Game Object shoulder R. Try that again. Shoulder R. Oh, whoops, that was the other one. This one. Avatar Game Object, shoulder R. There we go. Now we've got a Fred that moves. Though it needs to be, I think, a little bit higher than that. Heck, if we turn on the gizmo, we should be able to just lift. Hang on, is Fred too far apart? Yeah, that's weird. We didn't reset that. Though it's not too hard to move him into a better place. So I think that's correct. Hide gizmo. Oh, I've got it too far forward. I was wondering why it looked a little bit odd. So pull back the move. Drag that back a little bit. That looks more accurate. Alright. So we now have Fred here. And I've just realized that it looks like Fred and Frank are also on top of my head. Though, have we gotten the color a little bit wrong? Because the emote is a lot brighter and a bit more orange. So we might want to go back and tweak the color. And then we can work on doing the physics of it. They are in fact different colors. Okay. So we'll go and do window capture, change that to Substance Painter again. Oh, and I need to move back to the side, don't I? It's probably not good to be standing in front of what I'm trying to show. Alright, so now... Is it the stylization that has the main color? Not really. So let's try... Expand this one. Plastic. Oh, maybe I should pull out my emotes in my, like, actual art editor. And then that should let me just color pick. So that'll probably be the way to go. So I'll open that in a new document. There we go. And now I can select the actual color that Fred is, which is... Oh, I picked the... Yeah, that's a bit tricky. Get rid of that. So it looks like it's still the correct color. Though why does it look... Something's different about it. No, I guess that's right. It just had way more contrast before. I will reselect that just to be sure that the hex, or the hashtag, or pound symbol didn't tweak things. So I guess we'll try that. We'll export those textures. And then let me do a quick check in Unity. That has propagated correctly. So if we export as a prop now, replace the existing prop, and then if we get rid of the old prop, delete that prop, and then out of curiosity, if we hide and then show again, no, it doesn't do it. We'll try reloading. Oh, nope, that didn't. That looks no different. Why don't you look different? Is it because I already have one there? Oh, it's probably because it didn't... Yeah, it's because Dropbox didn't update the files yet. Because I'm working between computers. So add again. There we go. There's the color that's better. And then if we copy the from game object, and then I should still have that on my thing because that's there. What? How did that not enter? There we go. Put that there. Put that there. And that one there. There we go. Now that is correctly placed. And if I scoot back to the side, there we go. So now we've got lovely Fred, who is correct colors and definitely matches a heck of a lot better. So I think I'm quite happy with that one. Now the question is, do we want to finish with the physics before we make the textures for Frank? Or do we want both textures done before I work on polishing the physics? Because I'm leaning towards finish the physics first. For the beak, I'd probably actually recommend ripping a seam. Kind of the same way that we did the mouth before. Physics? Okay, we can do physics. So let me pull up Unity, and then let me hide my model so that we're not just looking at feet. And then Unity. There we go. So now we've got Fred, who needs to have a create empty, call this one secondary. And I'm assuming that since this functions in VNyan, it's probably going to use the same physics that my VRM models do, which means that it's going to have these VRM springbone scripts in it. So we are going to add a component, call that one VRM springbone, that one. And let's start with the tail. And then we're going to add a root bone. And that root bone is literally just gonna be tail. And then we're going to basically just duplicate this, copy component. Oh, actually the center needs to be the Fred armature. So copy component again, add component, spring bone, and we will then do the center is the armature again. Oop. I clicked off and clicked on the wrong thing. Center. Oops, wrong one. What? Oh, I put the armature in the wrong one before, didn't I? Center there. Tail is tail. And then center there. Root bone head. And this should make it so that all of these are also children, which I'm not sure I want, but we'll see how this looks first. V was rip seams, I believe. So we'll put this one as head. And then if we go into play mode, go into scene, go into this one. No. Why no physics? That should have physicsed. No, do not Alt F4. That is not the button. Also, we can remove that one. Oh, right, it's going to yell at us because we're in play mode. Delete that everywhere. Okay, I think we're fine. Are we fine? Yeah, it's responding again. Now, why is that not working? Oh, hang on. Is it because I'm moving from the thread armature? Okay, that's why. So if we move from the root, that is functioning correctly. That is actually functioning surprisingly well. I'm now curious. So, does this function on the prop? Oh, I got booped again. If we export this as prop, put it as Fred. Yes, replace. And then we can delete that one. Okay. So if we now add prop, and we add Fred again. Oh, hang on. Is it because I was too fast again? Yes, because there was the update doot. No, maybe not. Oh no, there's another update dude. Let's give it another second. It is a learning curve, Hellfire, to do stuff like this, but it is very fun once you get the hang of it. I did realize I just didn't react. There's a big difference. I get cheesed frickin' daily at this point. Like that. No physics on that? What if I just don't add a center? Maybe that's my problem. So we'll delete that one, and then we just go back to secondary and remove the center from both of these. And then if we go into play mode and move from armature. Okay, so yeah, now even moving from the armature, we're fine. Which this is probably what it's doing in VNyan, is moving from this armature point. So let's see if exporting this works better. Should I be concerned what research purposes are? There we go, so we're exporting Fred again, and then once that updates, I'll be good. I'm glad that I'm able to make a little bit more sense. Oh, export failed. What? Why did export fail? That's odd. Doesn't give me a proper fail reason. I guess Maybe something was still getting pushed to Dropbox and it just interfered, because sometimes that happens. So we'll just try and export the prop again. And if it works, we're fine. If it doesn't work, it's probably because it doesn't have a center on... Yeah, so it's probably because it doesn't have a center. How do you make it work then? How does I do the inner lip loop again? Do you mean like selecting all of the edges around where the mouth is and then extruding it so that it creates a loop? Okay, glad I was able to help. I think I'm gonna do one more sanity check before I do the frickin' thing. I'm going to pause the syncing for my Dropbox and confirm 100% that it's not that, because it is still trying to sync a whole lot of stuff. So let's do that, then VNN SDK, export prop, Lobsters Fred. If this fails, we'll try and put the center back and see if it exports properly. And then I might need to do some research for how the frick you put physics on a prop. Because I've just kind of made some assumptions based on how I know to make avatars. Okay, that actually exported the prop. So I do think it was just Dropbox conflicts, which means that I should be able to resume the sync, give it a couple minutes, and it should port over to my main computer where I'm running all of my streaming stuff. And then we can see how that actually worked. And I can even look at this and see, it looks like it has ported over, so let me try and add Fred. Hey! Okay, we have some physics. We have physics. Now we just need to see if they are the correct physics. So we're gonna hide that Fred. Move this Fred onto my shoulder. What do we think? I don't want to quite move him all the way yet, but we do have a bit of secondary motion on him. Do we like it? Do we need to give him a wider range of motion? What do you guys think? I'm thinking maybe a bit of a wider range of motion. Oh, actually, let's try putting him in proper position, because maybe that will affect how we see it. There we go. I mean, definitely more forward placement is correct, because he was kind of scooted back. But I more mean, like, as far as him moving around goes. Because I do think this definitely helps him feel way more alive than the picture or even just him being entirely still. But I kind of want to give him more motion and see how that looks. Because that is pretty tame motion for him. Alright. So we're going to try and up the motion. So for that, we should be able to... Oh, wait. Before I do that, let's turn around and see tail-wise. Yeah, tail definitely needs more motion, too. If we're up in the motion, we're going to up the motion everywhere. Let's try doing 0.4 on stiffness on both. And then if we go into play mode so that we can test this in this first, that should be significantly more motion. That doesn't look too crazy. And that seems to settle reasonably quickly, regardless of the motion. So we'll try that one. We'll see if 0.4 does it. We're gonna try the same method of pausing the sync so that it doesn't error out again while we export the prop. And then once that's done exporting... Oh, I realized that I was mostly covering the test, wasn't I? Yeah, well. You will see it in a moment once we get it ported over. I will remove the other Fred. Hi, Gold. I'm glad you've managed to keep your streak alive. And then Fred has in fact updated. So we can now add Fred prop. Make sure that he is on my shoulder. There we go. And then we need to move the item, move the position. All right. Yeah, that looks, it looks like he's talking when his jaw moves. I'm doing pretty good. We're having an interesting time working on Fred and Frank. And you might want to try pinging them in the Discord, Eternal. Bouncy Fred. They can dance along with me. It's a bit weird when I like raise my shoulders, because they start clipping a little bit. But I think that's just kind of gonna be expected with this. It definitely works a heck of a lot better than the PNGs ever did. So I am quite happy, and he seems very alive. I like it. So is everyone happy with this? Do we just need to work on the Frank texture next, and then port that one over? Because we might finish these like freaking before stream, like have an hour left of stream or something silly. All right, Frank time it is then. Let me scoot over to the side, and then I'm gonna do the first thing of make sure that we have Frank. I will hydrate. I gotta make sure that we have Frank exported properly. Oh, one thing I forgot to check though. Winter. Hey, you can actually see Fred. The placement works. Even on the outfit that my shoulders are like mostly covered, you can still see them. That's great. I love that. we have pet lobsters. He had pets. All right. We'll actually no. I'm gonna stay in winter at least for this song. He is still clipping. That is correct, but he clips a lot less than the 2D version. Because here, I'll put on 2D Frank for now, so you can kind of see what the difference is between 2D Frank in this one and 2D and 3D Fred. There is a world of difference. It would be cool if they could get scarves, but unfortunately I don't think I can make props for props very easily. I'd have to make different variations of them and such, and it's a lot of work. There we go. 7 is not enough for a Tidepod. And then export FBX for Frank. Make sure that I'm using the correct export method. There we go. Save that. Hmm? I am confused what you're saying, Gold. Good, we still have Blender up. So then I can drop in the Frank model, put them as their own thing, copy the secondary, put it on Frank. That should now work correctly. Now we just need to pull in the tail and the head. And now, one of the things I want to test is if we actually take the Fred material and put it on Frank, is it properly mirrored? If so, then we can just recolor and be fine. Oh, 20 stream streak? Nice. That is a lot of streams. I think that's mirrored. It looks mirrored enough. Do I have a stream schedule? Yes, I do. I tend to stream Tuesdays, Thursdays, every other Saturday, and Sundays. You can see the scheduled streams on my YouTube page where you can see all the upcoming ones, or you can check on the Twitch schedule. I also put them as Discord events if you prefer your notifications through Discord. So then we'll switch back to Substance Painter now so that we can work on making the Frank colors. There we go. Substance Painter. Was there lag? I hope not. And then let me grab the Frank color. Okay, good. Save this one as Frank. Okay, good. Now we're on different one. So put in the Frank color. And now we probably need to go and tweak the stylization, because I believe it's still doing like yellows and stuff, which we don't want it to do. Stylization. Add the Twitch link to Discord events. So I can unfortunately only add one location to Discord events, but if you look in the Cat's live channel, it should put both the Twitch and the YouTube. So since the Since the YouTube one is the one that's always pre-scheduled in advance and has a different location every time, that's why I prioritize putting that one in the events. Whereas the Twitch link is still included in the go live notifications and such. So we need diffuse color. Why am I boxed? Yep. Come on, up, lift, box. I don't know why I can't lift boxes anymore. Hey. So much going on. Wait, how have you managed 2 boxes? I didn't even know you could toss 2 boxes on me. It didn't stay because there was another box on me. But that is definitely a new one. And then we need to make these ones blue. Yeah, box head pets might not read the best, honestly. Alright, I think that's our Fred colors, or Frank colors. Export textures. I think that should... Hang on, let me double check what the other ones were listed as. Okay, so those were T default. What? What is the actual name? T default material base color textures. Can I rename whatever the heck this is? Default material? But that's not even the one it was. The lobsters are regal looking? I should hope so. We're gonna try the method of get rid of the unused materials, which should be here to here. Delete those. And then we're gonna put the Fred materials in their own folder and then export the Frank ones. Bonk already does enough damage. It just does primarily emotional damage. Cause Bonk hurts. Means you guys want to hurt me, huh? Folder Fred. Actually, it should be these ones. I think I missed one there. Delete that file. Yeah, I ragdoll. I fall over. And then create folder Frank. Alright, so folder has been created, so now I can actually export these into that folder and know that we will not accidentally override our other ones. There we go, hydrated. You know what I forgot to do? I forgot to make the save command, or the save point redeem. But I need to find like a good thing that just shouts save or something. Because I tend to forget to save things. So I'm gonna go through and save my stuff. There we go, made sure everything's saved. And then switch this back to Unity so you guys can properly see what I'm doing now. Yeah. Wait, what do you mean you'll have to rip the mouth seam twice? Are you making one that has two beaks? Yes, beak. You should only need to rip it once. Why do you need to rip it twice? Try again. What do you mean top and bottom are made as one? So you can like pull it out of face essentially. You just pull out, and then you can cut around the edge, and then extrude inward for inside of mouth. They really should. They really should have like friendly reminders of, it has been 3 hours since your last save. Do you want to save? Though a lot of them do auto saves, which is nice. I have been saved by auto saves many times. Oh, and we're on sleepy music again, skipping to next one. I need to just remove this from my queue. We're not sleepy mode today. There we go. So then Frank should be Frank. And then textures, Frank. Though, in theory, we should only really need to drag the blue texture. Everything else should be the same. And I believe I am correct. So we'll lock in that shader. And then go into play mode. Go into scene. So we can see him again. Wait for shader to compile. The physics works at least. There we go. But yeah, so we have Lobster physics that work on Frank too. So I should being the operative word, be able to just export prop Frank. And then, oh, I forgot to pause Dropbox, so we'll see if this errors or not. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it just functions. And then we'll have a Frank that we can import and line up properly. And then, what do we do for the rest of stream? I was right on the money of this possibly just having an hour left. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. I could probably work on emotes. Because I know I was wanting to redo the Tidepod. The Tidepod one. So that I can make more Tidepod merch. And I will show both goobers. It's not gonna be a short stream. I'm still gonna stream I'm still gonna stream the full time. I just need to figure out what I'm doing with the time. Alright, so we have a Frank now. Avatar game object. Search for shoulder. Shoulder L. There we go. And then, hang on, let's hide 2D Frank. And then Frank needs to be better positioned. So we're gonna bring in the move gizmo. Ooh, that feels backwards movement. That's weird. But I think that's correct. Maybe slightly up. Or should Fred go down? I think Fred should go a little bit down. There we go. Yeah, now they don't clip as much. And now they both have they both have physics to them. Hey. Oh, wrong button. There we go. Hide gizmo. So now we have Fred and Frank, and let's do another sanity check of in winter outfit. Yay! It's not overly clipping. I unfortunately don't know how to set up text-to-speech for that. It's one of the weird things about VTubing is just how many different programs you have running and how few speak to each other. So the sound of the text-to-speech that you hear is done through Streamlabs, which doesn't speak to anything. So that it's I need to find an alternative that would do a text-to-speech redeem, but I wouldn't necessarily have as much control over what could trigger that redeem if I did it that way. So it's one of those trade-offs of I need to find how the frick I'd even do that before I can decide, is it worth swapping all the stuff around. But it is an idea that I'm keeping in mind and keeping an eye out for. So if you happen to find one, let me know in the Discord. But I think I'm quite happy with our lobsters today. We have two very lovely lobsters who are just clinging to the shoulder. Oh, hang on, one thing I forgot is if we spin around, how do their tails look? Yes, the tail sway works. I am happy with the tail sway. I gotta present myself that way. But yes, I think they're pretty recognizable. They're good. So we now have proper 3D versions. So I guess we're doing emotes now then. Let me first close some stuff and make sure stuff is good to go. Do the tail slay? I don't know. Do they? I don't know if that's the guy could answer. I need to save this before I close it. This one, or put this in new folder. Alright, so now I can close that and then see if we actually still have the... Because I swear we had the one we started before of the Tidepod. There we go. Hydrated. Where did the Tidepod one go? Did we not have it? I mean, I'm sure the lobsters thank you for spraying them. I think I might have lost the Tidepod one though. I don't know how. Did I not save that? Well, I guess I'll just pull up the Tidepod image so people at least know what I'm talking about. Oh, right, I changed that over here. There we go. So now you can see Catpod. And I wanna recreate this without the stock image is basically where it's at. Why are you licking my GPU? That seems rude. Hi James, how you? If you're just joining, you've missed us creating these lovely lobsters. Wait, what did... Oh, right, that was the touch-ups I did to make it clearer. So we will create a new vector layer. Oh, the Rocket League would have saved. I don't think I've even actually heard that one before. I've never played Rocket League. I probably heard it in like one YouTube video somewhere. And no, my GPU does not look like a delicious piece of candy. Wait, what do you mean 0 of 10 key isn't properly 3D? I am 3D. Do you mean the Tidepod? I'm trying to make it an emote and stuff, not 3D modeled yet. I do plan on doing a 3D modeled Tidepod at some point, but that's down the road quite a bit. Oh, you mean that kind of 3D? Yeah, no, I don't. I don't have a setup that works with 3D glasses, unfortunately. It's not how that functions. Though, it might be funny to look at Fred and Frank through 3D glasses. How do we want to do this? No, don't be Rampocalypse. Not a good thing. Turn that back on. And then we'll go, like, select that color there. And this tool is set to fill foreground color, so that should be correct. So if I just do the 4 corners here. Come on, click. That one there. And that one. Oh, shoot, that last one didn't work. They don't need another megabyte. Nice Nexon. Yes, it is Catpod. Did that work? Is it processing? What the heck? Why you know? Oh, because it's on erase. That's silly of me. It needs to be on an actual fill brush. Let me make sure that those didn't... oh, wait, okay. I don't know why we're on a paint layer either. Let me just undo a whole bunch of stuff, I guess. No? Alright. Add vector layer. And now we should be on the correct path. And now we drag, oops, that's not what I meant to drag. Drag that one there. So then that needs to go there, that needs to go there. Do not drink lotion or bleach. No. Oh, that was a while ago. I was wondering what was going on with my chat. I don't recommend drinking the 14-in-1 body wash either. Let's turn down this opacity so that we can actually see what we're doing. That one down, that one there. And then this one curve in like that. Can I add a new point along this line? Add point. There we go. That should get roughly the shape we're looking for. And then maybe add another point on this line. So that can pull in a bit more, and then this can pull out more. There we go. Yeah, no, I don't think they're talking about Knuckles from the frickin' Sonic series. That doesn't seem right. Fred and Frank are bouncy. Alright, back to figuring out this thingy. Because I probably want to make them, or make it match more my current ears as opposed to, I believe this was V2 ears, hence the V2 eyes that have the entirely different eye shines. I do know what Uma Musume is. That's the horse racing game, isn't it? Let's swap to the Lobster one again. Oof. Having lotion irritate your skin isn't fun. Oh, that does not sound good. I hope it's not too bad of an allergic reaction, Gold. I do not play Uma Musume at all, so I don't really know any of them. I think the one I know is never mind, I forgot their name, so I don't even know them. But I know there is one silly horse that just doesn't try hard. Because the actual horse didn't try hard. They freaking come in on the Segway and such. Yeah, that doesn't sound like a good bath bomb then. Oh, you couldn't figure out how to upgrade a sub on mobile? That sucks. I know there's gotta be a way. I just don't remember what it is. I'll have to look into it and get back to you. Yes! Gold chip sounds right. I knew it was gold something, I just couldn't remember what. I've also realized that I should open my thingy that'll let me pick colors off of it. Because I have a variant of my logo that I keep on hand just for color picking. There we go, open a new document. This one! Because normally my logo is softened between the two, but this one is just solid colors, so I can very easily just color pick. There we go, so start blue. And now if I go back and do vector where blue is, Victorian emo and his sad girl. I have never seen that one. I know nothing about them. Nope. Okay, and try this again. Yeah. It's being a bit of a pain. Old people scare you? Why? Why do old people scare you? What did they do? Okay, I'm just gonna have to manually tweak that one. So if I select that and then do tool options, I should be able to delete that one. Yep, good, okay. So now I can get this to bend around that curve. Oh. 2000, I don't know how to pronounce the first part of your name. Thank you for the sub. You feel like you're being judged? Wait, why God? Why God or by God? Wait. Eternal, are you calling me old? I mean, I've not stated my age. And I can't really refute that without stating my age. But I'm not gonna state my age. So... Meh. I am a god, though. And then we need to add a point to this line, I think. I don't know how else we're gonna get that curving like that. Come on, why is point not being added? There we go. Now this line needs to be dragged out like that. I will neither confirm nor deny that, 2000. Because I do not state my age. And yes, Eternal, that is the good way of saying it. I am infinite years old and infinite years young. That is why I can turn into a child, or... I don't really have a shapeshift for old at the moment. I have not practiced it, because I don't really want to be, like, old lady. But I'm gonna have to come up with some meme one of I am millennia old type shapeshift. Though I have a hunch that it's just gonna be a gravestone. I don't know. A cursed flat Stanley. I mean, I can go flat. I've done it before. Eternal, you're getting a free shapeshift because I'm curious about a thing now. Hang on. Let's go with tall cat. Okay. Have lobsters also gotten tall? I honestly cannot tell. I cannot tell if lobsters have also gotten tall. They seem to have moved, but they don't seem particularly tall. Let's try this one back. If we do this one? Okay, no, let's not do that one. Yeah, I suppose 2D cat might be a good one for that. We'll do point 3. What the heck happened? Safe to say it applies to lobsters too. Hang on, so that is, I believe that's undone them. And I've got them correct now. Oh, whoops, I did X instead of Z. No wonder it got confused. So, yeah. It definitely affects the lobsters too. And I think I found what I did on the Halloween stream. They've been around me long enough to get some abilities. They are no mortal lobsters anymore. No normal mortal lobsters. Alright, swap back to correct position. Which, I mean, that is essentially what the squish one is. It just squishes me. But it's good to know that it affects the lobsters as well. They're so bouncy, I still love it. Alright, back to doing emote though. Because we've now got blue down, we need to get orange. Color pick orange. Hey, don't face them away from each other. Fred and Frank love each other. They're lobsters in love. It's on the shirt and everything. Alright, and then back to doing this. You're gonna teach Frank mitosis? Is an orange called an orange, but an apple isn't called a red? Because of the order in which the words were formed. And wait, what do you mean toxic yaoi? It's Fred and Frank. It's not like doomed yaoi or anything. Yaoi is boys' love, essentially. Haven't I told you what yaoi was before, Eternal? I remember you asking that exact question. We'll get those lined up. Here we go. Yin Yang, but Fred and Frank? It's possible. Have a good night, Gold. I apparently have an angel and a demon in my in my chat, which makes sense given that Hellfire is the one playing the role of the demon. Yes, Yuri is girls' love. How do my ears fold down again? Like that? So we need that kind of shape next. You forgot? Yeah, that sounds about right. And if we set that to there, we're definitely gonna need some tweaking. I think the actual Tidepod part is fine, but it needs some better shading. Actually, if we do this one, set it back to this, that we should be able to add some lighting to it. Kind of get the curves around here. And then if we change the... Oh, I got booped. Don't start an eternal war in my chat. We do kindness here. Tool options fill, change this to gradient. And then if we move... Oops, shoot, wrong one. Adjust this gradient that it's like there. Ah, it keeps moving the wrong thing. There to there. That should be gradient in a better place. And then we can actually change. Maybe if we change the opacity of this one. Can we change that? Yes, we can. So we just do a lower opacity here. Though we'd want the outline to be higher opacity. So maybe we do another gradient. Have this one be a radial gradient. And then we need to move, undo that move. Move this point to the center. And then move that point. That should be the outer gradient line, if I'm correct. Or is that? No, that's the center. This is the, I think. Am I missing a thing? Where the heck is the other part of the gradient thing? Oh, the lemon melon cookie song. Do I do IRL art stuff or mainly do digital? I've dabbled in IRL art stuff before. I've done things like needle felting. I've tried oil painting and acrylic painting. I got into crochet for a while, done various sewing and cosplay stuff. But lately I mainly do digital. Oh, Miku eating a cookie, or a lemon and dying, yes. Let's change that so I can actually see this a bit better, maybe. Do I need to zoom out more? Where the heck is this thing? There it is. No wonder I couldn't find it. Okay. Oh, can I not do opacity on this? I guess I wouldn't really want it fully, like, transparent anyways. So we'll just tweak this. I need to do your Duolingo and finish the dishes. Fair enough, Nexon. I hope it's not too much trouble for you. Can I yoink that color again? Sort of. And then if I make this color white, and then reverse the two. Wait, why is this back to linear? That should be radial. There we go. So now we've got a bit more of what I'm looking for. And then if we select this one, and then put this to where it's, I don't know, that's not quite what I want. It's getting somewhere, but it's not quite getting where I want. What you art? I'm confused, Pikachu. What is your question? We're currently trying to make me as a Tidepod. If that's what you're asking. Earlier we worked on the Lobsters. I think I'll stick with that there. Oh yeah, I'm making Tidepod Emote. So I've essentially taken the old cat pod image and I'm trying to make it into its own vector form, because this one was using like some stock image, and I'd rather have one that is created more for what we're after. So even though it is technically tracing a stock image, I'm trying to make it different enough. So we'll do there, to there, there, and there. No, do not eat Tide Pods. Oh, also, can I do this one? No? Hang on. No, I think it was... I'm getting myself turned around. This one. Edge. Set that. And then if I do lower opacity white, make it thicker, might have a better time with this. And then no, that's not what I was thinking of. So was it this tool then? I remember there being I have no idea, 2000. I don't know what the recommended serving of that lemonade mix is, so I would recommend reading the package. What the heck? Was it this one then? Oh, it was. It was this. Changing those would make it softer edges. And then, like, we go more opaque. You can kind of see that. But I don't really think that's the way I want to go. Oh, maybe instead. Maybe instead of this one. So that one is blank. The wider one can have outline. Up that. Yeah, that feels a bit more correct. Have fun, Hellfire. And this one, if we go tweak this, we should be able to line this up better, I think. And then what is up with the fill on it? So that should be, there we go, more like that, I think. That feels more accurate. So now we've got some nicer shading to it. I'm still not sure about that outline though. What if we do lower opacity on it? That kind of works. Don't drink oil paints. All right, fixing this one now. That to go in line. That to go in line. That should pop out a bit more to be mostly covering it. And then do that. Fill should be the gradient, not the radial, this should be linear. And then where the heck is it stuck, this linear? So one end's there. That end should be the inner end. This one should be the outer end. Think like that. Maybe we want that to go out a little bit more so it's not quite so harsh a white there. There we go. Now I've got more definition. It does look like it's missing a little bit there though. Maybe we do tweak this edge so that hugs this more. So that now needs to come down. And then this comes out more. Something like that. That looks a little bit better. And then we could have that go from that point over. So then let's do one more on this side. From that point there, somewhere down here, there. We seem to be getting somewhere. There we go. And now we can do the fill. I'm glad I've been getting better at doing vectors. I feel like I've learned a lot. And a bit more like that. Seems like it's about right. And then we just need that lower one. It does feel like a little bit of a lopsided Tidepod, right? Because this goes down more, so that's part of it. Whereas we've kind of curved around it, so we might need to adjust our things a little bit. You haven't played with vectors yet? That's fair. I was wondering if you fell asleep, Tanny. Eternal was trying to get your attention earlier to ask if Albert is a real penguin or a plush one. Because Eternal was trying to make the Albert model. Or a Albert model. I don't know if it's the Albert model yet. Real penguin? Alright. Hopefully Eternal heard that. If not, I will make sure Eternal knows. Put that there, that one there, and then the corners. There we go. And now I should be able to adjust this. Okay, good. Eternal did here. I think we'll do like to there, and then we can adjust this one to be in line there. Lower that one down too. And now I just need to add the shading on this one, I think. I think that one's, yeah, that one's the shaded side. Frick. I need to stop moving things. I think something like that. Why are you hiding from the government? Never mind, don't tell me. I don't want to have to tell the government why you're hiding. Let's pull these back. There we go. That looks more in line. I don't know anything about your taxes. I just don't. You didn't tell me anything. No, tax evasion is not a favorite here. We do not piss off the IRS. Alright, I feel like that's gone pretty well for making this a bit different. I do need to bring those in a little bit, I think. So this needs to be a bit more of a square edge, as does the other side. So something like that. That definitely looks Tidepod-ish. I think even we could push it a bit more square on this side. And yeah, I don't think the IRS has jurisdiction on Mars. I think you might be correct on that one. But good luck if you ever want to come home. Yeah, I think that's better. I think we need to tweak the shading on that one a bit, though. Something like that. And then this one probably needs a bit of the same treatment of just lift that up. There we go. So now we've got something that feels rather Tidepod-ish. And then we still need to do the eyes, the ears, the mouth, eyebrows. And I think we also need to do a bit more tweaking on the colors of the basic one, because that doesn't quite look like it's Tidepod-y enough, if that makes sense. I'm trying to decide how I want to do that, though. One thing we could do is go for gradient on this one. Make sure it's a radial gradient. Come on. Move, you darn thing. It looks like it's moving, but then it's not. Oh, it's because it's in line with this. Ah, frick, I didn't want to rescale that. Quit moving thing. We want this. So what even... Oh, they're Fred and Frank's. Is this center? I think that's center. What is this one then? I guess that's just the point the other one is from. So we'll center there. Gradient should be, yeah, about there looks right actually. So now we just need the right colors with that. So let's do... We're gonna make a new layer that is just going to be our color picking layer now. There we go. So now it can be on that, this one, and then color pick that. No, that's not gonna work. That one, select this, and then if we color pick from here, there we go. Why does this switch back to linear? That should be radial. And then this one, if we color pick this and then shift it slightly and go darker, that should give us a much more defined vibe. That might be a little bit too brown though. No, it matches my hair. So it kind of works. We might just want to ramp up this orange and bring it out a bit more. Maybe we pull this one back to like there. And then we could even add another one that is slightly more yellow hued, not too much though, and a little bit lighter. And if we grab this one, we can then create another one that is just a duplicate of it, so it holds that color for a little bit longer. That should allow us to make a bit of a sharper transition there. And we can even do another color that is the exact same here. So same color there. And then add another one that's like a stark near white in between. That should create a ring. Yes, that is a ring. And then we just need to make that a thinner ring. Like that. I don't know if that actually works though. Because it doesn't look like it's conforming to the shape kind of thing, which is what we would want. So I think we're gonna save a highlight for that as, oh frick. No, I didn't want to delete the entire thing. We'll just do that. That should get us back to normal mostly. Something like that. That looks fine. And then we'll want another shape over top of this. So we'll do like circle. And where would this normally be placed? Like there-ish. And then if we do this one, come on. Oh, never mind. We'll do this as a drawn shape then. Hi, James. And that is a silly thing to do. Just come back and say banana. That one. Make that lighter. So now we want to do this one there. Have that follow that curve. That go like that. That one pops out. This one should form like a bubble right there. And then if we change that to a gradient inside and delete that stop. There we go. Have that one go a lot brighter. And then we actually want those two inverted because we want lighter on the outside, darker on the inside now. Should being the operative word here, be able to drag this towards the middle. Probably centered roughly there. Drag in, maybe not that far. Like that. Then I can even raise this a little bit to get it to pop a bit more against that. Something like that. It's got a little bit off. I think it's the curve that's messing me up. So this needs to curve more with this. And then this one needs to come out a little bit more. Like that. Let's pull this one out too. Have that curve in more. And now this edge needs to pop a bit more. Actually, can I just delete this one and do this as bring this out and bring this up? That'll probably curve a lot better. There we go, that is so much more a smooth curve. Pull that that way, pull that in a little bit more. And then pull that one over. There we go. Your second attempt at Alfred looks better. That's usually how it goes. I think let's make this a little bit more orange toned. So we shift the entire thing more orange. It should feel a little bit more cohesive. Maybe that works? What was that? Oh, Timely, thank you for the follow on YouTube. Or the YouTube subscribe. I always get confused trying to use the same word for the equivalent on Twitch and YouTube when YouTube is subscribe, but Twitch subscribe is the YouTube membership. And I am just confused all over the place. I think we do blue side next. It's definitely more stylized, but I think I like the stylization that we've got. Yeah. So we'll do a gradient this time. The this one, we should be able to just, like, yoink that one, then yoink from darker side. Ah! Hating.
Yeah, I'm gonna remove my kneecaps.
Don't remove your kneecaps. You need those. Okay, there's that one. So pull that there-ish. I definitely need some tweaking more. Feel like maybe... How did you get down there? What the heck? Eh?
I need replacements. Mine are faulty. I'm gonna head to the kneecap store.
Where the heck is the kneecap store? Let's see. Position move. There. Maybe something like that.
Right
and
next to
then-
the lung store.
Why is there a lung store? Where the heck do you live? I feel like I've got that color wrong, because that should be this color. So we'll turn back on that one.
Crime Alley.
What? That's in Gotham. I don't think you should trust organs harvested in Gotham. You don't know how much frickin' fear toxin they've taken in. There we go. That looks a lot better. And now I can figure out the lighter highlight on this one, which is going to take up that upper section, and it looks like a little extra bit if we do it how it's there. So we'll do this as like a lighter one. There we go. So we probably want like small, almost triangle here. Hydrating.
I'll be fine.
That's a kind of funny way for Russell to pronounce that. Just all be finey. Alright, so we need these to curve out. So we actually want this to be like curved but not fully.
Timey wimmy.
Pull that in. Gentle curve there if I can. Something like that, maybe? That needs some smoothing, to say the least.
Russell likes the word wimmy.
I wouldn't be surprised if he did. There we go. That looks a lot better. And now we just need to do the larger bubble. And then to there. Probably there-ish. There.
Okay, be a bad boy and watch me find it out for myself.
This one needs to come out more. I feel like we're getting close. I think this needs to be scooted closer to it. Probably not even changed, just like pushed there-ish. That's kind of like a secondary bubble. Wait, what are you going on about, James? Oh yeah, YouTube tends to have people come and go quite a bit. I tend to try and not pay attention to how many people are around and just enjoy the company of the people who are here. Because I don't need to stress myself out with the number of people. I hope you enjoy the orange. I think that this one here needs a bit of a tweak. I think that needs to come out a bit more, and then this one also does. Yeah, YouTube's still figuring out streaming, I feel like. Nom, enjoying your orange. Alright, so we've got those. We're missing the mouth, the eyes, eyebrows, and the ears. Do we want to do ears next, or do we want to do like the eyes and stuff? Probably ears. Ears next. So we'll go with select this color again. View of Werther's. Nice. So this should link to here. And then if we're doing my current ears, it should have kind of curved to here, there, go into that point, and then meet back up. And then curve that in. Did I get that right? Oh, the lower part curves down more. So that's the part I need to correct. Hi, Hades. I'm glad you could finally make it. There we go. I think that's the better curve. Who is my favorite YouTuber? I feel like that's a hard question because there are so many different types of VTuber or YouTubers I watch that I don't know if I have a flat favorite. I definitely have ones that I like for specific things. Like I know Mad Morph's Down to Sleep series is really, really good for when I'm just trying to put something on as background noise while I like work on thumbnails and get ready to sleep. Because it is super calming. So that's one I could probably call out of, like, they're one of my favorites, but I don't know if I'd say that they are my absolute favorite. And I feel like Alfred probably would be a bit chubby if people are trying to feed him birdseed all the time. Probably a bit bloated from thing that he's not supposed to be eating. Wait, why do I have two here? We'll delete that one. Because that should just be that one. Which should be in line with that. And then is the other one in line? That one needs to be in line there. Curve this out a little bit more. And then this one, does it not have a lower edge? Should be there, I think. There we go, that looks in line, I think. If we hide... Here, let's even group these ones. Group. Quick group. Now if we hide that, okay. That's not seeing outside of it. That's just seeing the thing itself. Fair enough, James. I hope you get some good sleep. Something feels off about that ear placement. I think it's too thin. I think it's too thin of an ear. It needs to poof up more. So I think it's like this one needs to come up. That needs to go down a bit. Actually, that probably needs to just go back. That come out more. This one come out more. There we go. I think that's more accurate. I think that's the Engie shape. Oh, we are at 3 hours, aren't we? Alright, let me make sure I save this one this time. I'm definitely a lot happier with this than the last one we got. We actually have a Tidepod. Now we just need to make it a cat pod. I will hydrate. So I've got that saved. I am quite happy. We've gotten a lot done today. Very, very productive day. Because we have Fred and Frank, and they're all animated and everything. We don't have any like blinks or anything on them. Next art stream finished cat pod. Possibly. Though there is a good chance that next art stream might be working on a commission, so I'm not going to guarantee yet. Because I don't know whether I'm gonna keep working on cat pod on stream or if I'm gonna work on it off stream or what. If you guys are super interested in seeing cat pod on stream, I'll definitely try and do it on stream, and we'll keep it going. But we've gotten somewhere. We've proven that the new setup works. That's the important bit. Is that we were able to do all of the crazy working on stuff and no crashes, no no taken down stream. I am super happy with that. Let's see who we want to go raid as well. Do we want someone else doing art, or do we want someone we know? Because we do have quite a few we know who are currently streaming. But I don't know if people are still in productive mood and want more art people. So what do you guys think? What do you want? Glad to hear you're still collecting, Duck. It tends to get hard to find someone to raid if people keep throwing stuff at me or making me hydrate. We've raided... Of course, people don't seem to want stream to end. You dead? I'm running out of water. There's 3, 4. Just barely the correct. I am not breaking out a new drink for this. So if the water's all gone, I'm just refunding the points. Nope, I got a bit on that one. I'm glad you guys like my streams. But I probably should at least, like, get off and work on thumbnails for next streams, because I'm a bit behind on that. We only have the Thursday stream scheduled, despite me having more than that planned. Who knows? Maybe I need to start doing frickin' prep streams, where I just do thumbnails and stuff. Because I could do productive streams, where I just do things like that. Talk about plans for future streams and stuff on them. Might actually be worth doing. But I don't know if I want to spend one of my current stream days for that. And doing it on Monday or Wednesday doesn't seem quite right. Or Friday. Friday's boyfriend day. Thank you for head pats. No, I need to get back to figuring out who we're rating. How about... Oh, actually, we had Coral raid us not too long ago. Let's raid her back. They are currently doing Hollow Knight Silk Song. So we will set up raid for that. And I will be back on Thursday. What are we doing Thursday? I have it scheduled, but I've blanked on what we're actually doing. We are doing blueprints on Thursday. And then we will be back after that on Sunday, planning on doing the new House Flipper update that should be coming out. So I am very excited for that, because I love House Flipper too. And it'll be all Christmassy and nice, and I can wear my Christmas outfit more. I'll probably still wear my Christmas outfit during the blueprint stream, though I might go with the normal outfit. We'll see. It also depends on what people request with the shapeshift. So I will see you guys next time. Does meow.